Okay. So, a two-way frequency table has items going this way. I should put another thing on. There we go. So we have a total here and a total here of like A and B and X and Y. And you have numbers, they total here, and they go this way, they total this way, and total this way. So see how they go in two directions, two ways where you get totals? So that's a two-way frequency table. Okay, two different categories. How A and X relate, how A and Y relate, B and X, B and Y. And so all the totals, the X's, totals, Y's, totals, A, totals, of B's, total. Okay, conditional probability is like the probability of being blonde if you are a sophomore. Okay, so what's first, being a blonde or being a sophomore? The probability of being a blonde if you're a sophomore. Actually, sophomore. Out of all of the, sorry, and I didn't probably ask that right. So, what is the bigger group? What is the group where the other ones come from? Because if it's blondes, out of the group of sophomores, if you're a sophomore, how many of them are blonde? So you have to take this group and figure out that, okay? And it's going to be blondes over sophomores, okay? So that's conditional probability. So given that we have these people, how many of these people are there? These people over these people, okay? You'll see that in our first question here. So, two-way frequency table. See how we have totals of Democrats, totals of Republicans, totals of people who support the bill, total of people who don't support the issue, and then the totals of the totals. Okay. Now, when we're talking two-way frequency table, if we have conditional probabilities, if we're talking about the people who support the issue, we don't even need to look at this part. That is totally done with. We're just talking about the people who support the issue. Out of the people who support the issue, how many of them are Democrat? How many of them are Democrat? So it's 21 out of 57, and then you turn to a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth. So have your calculators out because you will be using them today. What is 21 divided by 57? 0.36. I don't know what I just did. 0.36 to the nearest hundredth. Okay? Now, here's a two-way frequency table where there's a total number of boys, total number of girls, total number of sixth graders, total number of seventh graders, total number of eighth graders, total of the total. Okay, so now if they only have one thing behind here, it's how many eighth grade boys are there out of everybody? Because if there's nothing else in there, you take out of the total of the total. Okay, so how many eighth grade boys? Well, eighth graders and boys are right here. How many eighth grade boys are there out of everybody? Well, there's 9 out of 50. Okay, now we go back to conditional probability. Out of those who attended college, how many are liberal? Out of those who attended college, so we get rid of this high school area. We don't need that. Out of those who attended college, how many are liberal? Well, we need to know how many attended college. 15 plus 16 is 31, plus 6 is 37. So how many attended college are liberal? 15. 15 of the 37 are liberal. Oh, yeah, simplified fraction. Okay, this one doesn't have the P whatever, okay? But the table shows relative frequency of the treatments that the veterinarian gave dogs and cats in 1 week. Based on this information, what's the probability the animal chosen was a dog given it was given shots only? Okay, so the probability of being a dog given that is shots only, okay, is the way you would write it. Probability that's a dog given that shots only. So we don't need shots in a checkup. We don't need the totals because we're looking at shots only and we're looking at dogs. Probability of dogs is 0.55. Probability of shots only out of all of them is 0.70. So if you take 0.55 divided by 0.70, what do you get? 0.78 what? So isn't it 0.79? Yep, 0.79. Rounded to 2 decimal places. Last one. You see probability of freshmen. So that's freshmen out of everyone because it's not a conditional probability. So you got to look. Are there two things there? Is there a line there with something else? Or is there just one word there? A line there with something else is conditional. Just one thing is a regular probability. Here's a regular probability. Probability of freshmen. Well, there's 7 freshmen out of the 39. So 7 out of 39. There's only going to be 5 questions. It will take 5 minutes. So those of you who have been gone, dodge, get your homework done. Quiz. Who else has a quiz? Cheyenne made up hers. So it's Trent and Joe need to make up quizzes. Anybody else need to make up the quiz? Okay. That should be, well, you do too, but you need to get your other 2 sections done first before you take the quiz so you have an idea of what's going on the quiz. Plus, you need to study your vocab words. There are 19 vocab words on the quiz, so make sure you have the vocab words studied before you take the quiz. All right. So let me